Hi, I'm Dr. Roland Tripp. Now, I work with Hannah the Pet Society, and one of the things we do is we try to make the environment and the experience of having a pet the best it can be. Now, one of the things we encourage is this concept of contented confinement. Now, confinement is a funny thing. In humans, if you're a bad person, you get a timeout and you are confined in something that we call jails, or a long timeout would be in prison. So we have this natural association with it being a bad thing. On the other hand, canids, that would be canines and wolves and everything that belongs in that family, generally are den animals, and they like to find a little spot, and they dig out a spot to be in. So it's more natural for them. So this concept of contented confinement means that not only do we want the animal to be able to accept confinement, but we want them to be contented with it. So that's our challenge. Let's talk about how to do it. First, when to do it. The very best time to do it is the very first day, the first hour of the first day when the pet comes into the home. And so they think it's just part of this, all these changes going on. We just include the idea of confinement in that capacity. Now, once you have them confined for the first time, we want to make it a very positive experience so it can be contented. Now, what exactly is confinement? Let me pause and define that word. Confined means that the pet is unable to move more than 3 or 4 feet maximum in any direction. So that means inside their portable kennel. Yes, that is confined. But it also includes being close tethered, where they're tethered to your chair or something solid. Now, close tethering means that you are close by, but the dog in this case is in one place and can't move very far, whereas you can get up and move and come back and move around. So that's close tethering. Similar but different is if the leash is attached to you through your hand or tied to your belt. That's called umbilical cording. The umbilical cording means that now you and the dog are moving together everywhere. Now that is a good bonding technique for people when they first get a new dog, and for dogs who are independent and not really that bonded. Physical proximity encourages bonding. Now, umbilical cording is a bad idea for dogs that are over-bonded, such as those who have separation issues. For separation issues, it's better for the confinement to be in a close tethered situation where now they are experiencing you're leaving and coming back and leaving and coming back. That's really a better way. But confinement, I've said so far, it's portable kennel, close tethering, umbilical cording. It might be inside of an exercise pen. Confinement could be in a room with baby gates. It could be in your lap. If you're holding on to the pet, it can't move in any direction. What is not confinement is the dog able to go more than 3 or 4 feet in any direction and travel around wherever it wants to go. Now, why is that important? Why do we want them to be confined? Because during this dog's life, there's going to be times when it needs to be confined. It's going to go to the vet sooner or later and might need to be confined there. Might go to the groomer. Hopefully you take this dog with you when you travel, and if you go to a motel, they'll only accept dogs who are inside their kennel at night. But there's more reasons than that. And when you first bring the dog into the home, the first hour of the first day, we don't know for sure this dog's house training and whether it's going to eliminate in the house. So one of the purposes of confinement is to give the dog a reason to hold it. Now, another reason to have confinement is to limit the options of what it can chew. So confinement is used in chew training as well as in elimination training. So these are all reasons to have her be contented. Now, how do we go about getting the dog to be contented when confined in a space? So here are some ideas. First, when you are doing contented confinement training, which is typically the first day or 2 or 3 that you have this new dog, what you want to do is pull back on your attention and affection when the dog is outside the kennel, and reserve that for lots of affection and attention when he or she is inside the kennel. Number 2, whenever you put the dog inside the kennel, there should be something positive that happens right then. So classically that would be a peanut butter Kong. That's a Kong toy or any toy where you smear a little bit of peanut butter on the inside and they lick it and they play with it and get their tongue in there and try to have fun with it. But they have then a few minutes of very enjoyable behavior that is associated with directly when they go inside the kennel. What else? How about if they have some chew toys in there? Because the chew toys will last longer than that peanut butter Kong. So you have that first impression. Now we've got a chew toy that's fun in there. But what else? How about if there's a comfortable bed in there? Or how about if there's treats that magically appear inside the kennel because they've been pushed in through the corner, and no one knows how that happens, but they just magically appear, and the dog's in the kennel and go, look, a little treat over there. That's fantastic. So we're making this place, this inside of the portable kennel especially, a magical place. Similarly, when close tethered, when the animal is tethered, it's not being punished, it should be contented. So a comfortable place to lay on, chew toys, lots of attention when you're confined. So we're trying to flip it again here, where being confined is actually better than being loose. So there's many reasons to do this, and those are the basic techniques. The last thing I want to say is, what do you do when the dog has a tantrum? Sooner or later, no matter how pleasant you make it, with how many treats, they're going to say, no, I want to go over there, or I want you to pet me on this, I want that. So when the dog is having a tantrum, here are the steps I recommend. Number one, do a need analysis. A need analysis means that if the dog is fussing, that means whining, barking, just making a fuss. If they're fussing, you pause for a second and do a need analysis. You ask yourself, does he need to poop? Does he need to pee? Does he need water? Did I forget to give him water today? Did I forget to feed him? Something like that. If there's a real need, now I mean need as in need to survive long term, okay? Those are the needs. As opposed to, is he fussing because he or she wants something? I want to go over there, I want attention, I want this, I want that. So those are the tantrums we want to control. If there is a real need, then we need to take care of that and be thankful that the dog has called that to your attention. But how you know is, if you satisfy that need, it ought to stop fussing. If it doesn't stop fussing and it's got all of its needs satisfied, hey, we're now in a want situation where now we're just being difficult. So we're having a tantrum. Okay, so you have a couple of options. One is you can just ignore it until it goes away. Now that's not the preferred way, but that's okay, because once you know that he doesn't need anything, he must learn that the tantrum doesn't work. But let me suggest a better way. In this situation, we need to get the dog to stop long enough for us to praise it. How long? I would say the 3-second rule. In other words, if it's stops, you go, good dog, that's a good girl, what a good dog. And you start praising her for being quiet. Now what happens is, as soon as you give any attention, they'll often start back up again. So if the animal or the pet starts back up again, that is fussing, I expect or recommend that you say, that fussing is repelling me away. So then you turn your back, physically turning your back. Dogs understand that. So your attention goes away. Then if they stop, you turn back and praise again. When you get to the point where you can praise continuously and the tantrum has stopped and they're still inside the kennel, right? Then the exercise is number of seconds between praises. So it goes like this. You're the dog and you're in the kennel and I've now got you to be quiet, right? So I've waited out and you're quiet and I'm saying, good dog, good dog, good dog, good girl, what a good dog. 5 seconds of silence. Oh, that was super, super good dog. 15 seconds. Oh, that was 15 seconds. You did good. You're such a good girl. You're good. So lots of praise, lots of positive energy, but you phase out how long they are quiet in the kennel, and that's how they get their praise. The idea here is they, as in the pet, has to get more juice, more attention that is, or more rewards from being quiet and settled in the kennel than they do outside. Now remember, once they get contented, it is not intention that they stay in the kennel all day long. This is a very bad thing to do, and very rarely is it indicated, only in very, very rare situations, and I think the veterinarian probably ought to check off on it if they're going to stay all day and all night. So the point is they still get out and they get exercise. So what we want is for the dog to be capable of accepting or being contented in the confinement and starting out with a lot of confinement until they are confirmed that they know where the toilet is, confirmed that they know what to chew and what not to chew, confirmed where they know the house rules. And once they learn those house rules, they get more and more freedom and therefore need to be confined less until they're now just a member of the family and enjoyed all the time. I'm Dr. Roland Tripp. If you have more questions, visit us at hannasociety.com.